Today on the channel, we're back at it with another best of 2024 list. And today's top 5 video, we're counting down my top 5 favorite He-Man and the Masters of the Universe Masterverse figures.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another Best of 2024 Top 5 Countdown. In today's video, we're looking to the Masterverse, of course, from He-Man and the Masters of the Universe from Mattel, and the Masterverse grows on another year, this line going for 3-4 years. What is time, as we always say at this point? But a definite switch this year with the Masterverse, as we've seen Mattel Creation exclusives, and we've seen these figures a little bit harder to get at retail. Of course, some early peg warmers the last couple of years for this line has really slowed it down at retail, and a lot of waves, at least in my area, maybe yours as well, have been skipped just because of peg warmers on the shelf. So an interesting line to collect, thankfully for the J's Toys and Games.com out there, the Entertainment Earths of the world, the DJC collectibles and so forth. There's a chance to pick these ones up, and that's what I've been doing. I think I've bought every single one of these offline this year instead of in the store, which isn't always bad, isn't always good. It's just as long as you can get them and you can get them at retail price, it's not a bad thing here. But this year as well, we saw a step away from the Revolution, the Revelations, some of that kind of stuff that is, in all honesty, bogged down the line a little bit. And we've really seen the rise of New Eternia, and you're going to see that in this top 5 countdown, as personally the New Eternia figures really are the best Masterverse figures that we've seen since the infancy of the line. So going to be a little heavy on the New Eternia, as you can imagine here, and we're not getting too much outside of New Eternia as we once were in the infancy of this line once again. But a fun line to collect, a little frustrating at times, but today we're counting down the top 5, and of course, as usual, it's my list. Put your list in the comments down below. Started at number 5, number 1 being your absolute favorite Masterverse figure of 2024. So without further ado, let's kick it off at number 5. Alright, we begin the Masterverse countdown, of course, at number 5. And number 5 comes to us as one of my all-time favorite characters from He-Man and the Master of the Universe. Who is it at number 5? Well, straight from the ocean and directly into our hearts is one Merman, that warlord of the ocean, Merman, back again in the Masterverse, this time, once again, part of New Eternia. And this one, I always thought looked pretty cool, but this one was a lot better in hand than I do say pictures shown, of course, from Mattel and solicitations, things like that. Really enjoy this one, of course. Has that corncob sword. We all thought it was corncob. Come on. Corncob sword here, got his staff. But what really won me over was the glassy eyes on this one. Added a little depth to the eyes, little extra details like that, making this one look fabulous. Got a little different, kind of a tealish, greenish, blue skin tone here against a dirty wash over the top. Just looks like a guy that spent most of his time under the sea, like a young Little Mermaid. But New Eternia Merman, just a fabulous, fabulous figure. Had to be on this list. Came in at number 5. Countdown rolls on at number 4, and this one could be the controversial one for this year for many people. And once again, these top 5 lists, I should explain myself a little bit here in these lists, as they do go from what figure and the quality of the figure, how good it looks, how well it represents the character, but also nostalgia always plays a part in these lists. You like what you like, you don't what you don't. And this one is my all-time favorite characters from He-Man and the Masters Universe, back to when I was a little kid, and he just barely edged out Merman. And you asked me 6 months from now, maybe they would flip-flop. But coming in at number 4 today, it is Mecha-Neck. Now, Mecha-Neck, maybe not for everybody, but like I said, the childhood nostalgia is real. One of my absolute favorites as a kid, for whatever reason. Obviously, love the telescoping neck. Maybe I was a big fan of the old telescoping neck from one Inspector Gadget, also doing it around the same time. But for whatever reason, Mecha-Neck was one of my favorites as a kid, and I was very excited to see him once again in the New Eternia subset of the Masterverse. And we got a lot of different looks for this guy. Of course, you had the replaceable head. Now, it doesn't have the gimmick where you turn the body and shoots the head up, We're past those days, apparently, for good or for bad, but you do got different display options for this one, but just a fabulous, fun figure here, just reeking of nostalgia, and that's why Mechanics coming in on my list at number 4. We're already at the halfway point in the top 5 Masterverse figures of 2024. You got your list together? Put it in the comments down below, and don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Turn on the old notification bell, as we got videos every single day, but we got a lot of countdowns as we finish up 2024, which brings us to the number 3 selection here. And let me tell you, nobody wants to get fisted unless it's by this guy. It is one Fisto from the Masterverse, and once again, the new Eternia lineup here, and just barely squeaking in at the end of 2024 is Fisto, currently hitting store shelves right now if you're on the hunt for him. 2 different heads, which is fun for Fisto. A lot of interchangeability as far as the hands go, but for me, you gotta give him the classic fist. You just gotta do that. But it is Fisto, looking body style. You got the purple, you got the brown loincloth, everything that speaks to Fisto with a little extra pizzazz, part of the new Eternia here. Just a very, very fun one. One of my all-time favorite characters, once again, getting an amazing update here in 2024, and that's why Fisto comes in at number 3. Closer and closer to the top spot as we're at the number 2 selection in our Masterverse 2024 countdown. And the number 2 selection, once again, no surprise here, we're going to New Eternia, but in a plot twist, we're headed to Mattel Creations for the Mattel Creations exclusive New Eternia Snout Spout. So now Snout Spout, a favorite of many back in the day. I honestly did not have that as a child for whatever reason. Got the Origins one not too long ago. Of course, the Classics one before that. But quite the update here and quite the deluxe figure as part of the Mattel Creations line here. Different hoses and different heads, different weapons. Big old elephant-like ears on this one, but he's also a big figure. A little bit more deluxe, once again, Mattel Creations exclusive. Just a very, very cool figure, and honestly could be the sleeper of this set. Like I said, oh, cool. It's cool to get Snout Spout in the line, but he came off a lot better than I anticipated him to be, which could make him, like I said, the sleeper of Masterverse in 2024. But a big figure, a fun figure, and that's why he's coming in at number 2, which means there can only be one. What is the number 1 Masterverse figure of 2024? Stay tuned. We've reached the number 1 spot in our top 5 Masterverse figures of 2024. And you got your list together? Put it in the comments down below. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more, of course, countdown videos as we close out 2024. And while you're at it, don't forget my other YouTube channel with unboxings every single day over there as well. But here we are, the number 1 Masterverse figure of 2024 and possibly, I'm saying it, all time, as this figure was truly love at first sight when I laid my hands on it, and eyes as well, at San Diego Comic-Con 2024. What are we going to? Well, we're going to Battle Armor Skeletor. Man, oh man, a fun figure back in the day when I was a kid. Even funner figure in this day and age. Of course, Battle Armor He-Man we've got, I think, a couple of times in the Masterverse, but this version of Skeletor is absolutely fabulous. I love, of course, the skin tone for Skeletor. I love the skeleton aspect, so he's already ahead of things, but you get this amazing battle helmet with the horns on the side, the chainmail on the head. You get the Legion of Doom Road Warrior spikes on here, of course, the chest plates there for different damage, the weapons. Just an amazing figure. And as I said, I saw him at San Diego Comic-Con 2024 for the first time. I said, this very well could be the best Masterverse figure of all time. And as of right now, to me, it's not only the best one for 2024, it is the best Masterverse figure of all time. And once again, we saw a theme, all 5 figures this year coming from the new Eternia subline. So they're doing something right as far as new Eternia does go. But it is going to be very interesting in 2024 and beyond, or 2025 and beyond, where these lines go, where the Masterverse line goes from here. They've ran through a lot of characters. There's more deep cut characters that they could very easily do. However, how well will they do at retail? So that is a little thing that we got to kind of figure out and see how the cards all play out at the end of the day. We do know we have a Panther coming, once again, as a Mattel Creations exclusive. Hopefully that comes fairly early in 2025. But after that, it's going to be interesting to see where this line does go. But if it is kind of on the tail end, we've got a lot of good figures of a lot of classic characters and a lot of fun for sure. But man, Battle Armor Skeletor, for me, easily taking the number 1 spot. But I'm going to ask you, what's taking your number 1 spot? What's your number 1 Masterverse figure of the year? And hey, while you're at it, give me the whole top 5. Make sure you put them in order. That's the hard part. That is the fun part, as you guys do know. So there it is. That's Skeletor at number 1. But of course, check out the Patreon, my Patreon channel, for early access to all the videos from both YouTube channels. You get a lot of these lists a lot earlier as a Patreon member on top of tons of other stuff. Check it out. Support the channel. ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson. Don't forget, of course, social media. SirPaul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads and Instagram. And now I'm on TikTok. Check out TikTok if that is your thing. So for the top 5 Masterverse figures of 2024, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.